Okay, we are live. I think. We are. Good deal, good deal, good deal. Alright, let's do this. You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. And welcome back, guys. This is the Sunday Dose. Welcome. This is episode 1, June 22nd, 2014. Yeah. It's my birthday yesterday. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Just doing some extra stuff last night on the show notes, and just kind of putting a little bit extra stuff in, like, always, my birthday weekend this weekend, of course, went to a mud run. And it was, dude, it was so loud and just, it was so fun. Okay, my wife's probably going to watch this show and probably smack me when she gets home right on my sunburn. But there were a lot of hot chicks there yesterday. A lot of hot redneck chicks there yesterday. Dude, you have, wow. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say without getting in trouble. How's that? But welcome to the Sunday Dose, guys. This is episode 1. And we don't really title our shows. But if we were to title this show, I would probably want to go ouch, it hurts. Because it works for both of us. Yeah. Because ouch, my sunburn hurts, and then you can go the same thing. Ouch, my head hurts from your hangover.
No, it's not. I don't have a headache.
No. Just
I never get headaches when I am hungover.
What is it? Just a feel like shit moment or something?
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's just like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, it was amazing. I got a bunch of really good pictures. I got some just didn't really do anything. I mean, we got in a 50-50, which, the winner got like $300. We were one number off. We won it last year. My wife got some tickets. So it's because my wife's she's got lucky hands. She got tickets and then she left. She's like, here's our tickets. Make sure we don't, if we win, just, let me know. I mean, like 5 minutes after she left last year, we won. And everybody, I was just going to surprise her at home, be like, no, we didn't win, and then pull out $300 out of my pocket, Well, as soon as she got back, I mean, like every freaking person at the mud run knows her. Hey, you guys won. Really? And then she comes up to me and says, "Did we win?" I go, "Nope." Don't know what you're talking about. But we didn't win. It was one number off, which I was really sad about. It was like $320 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they raised like
nice.
700. So, hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
Fast trucks with fucking NOS and you get money. Shit. And then you drink. I mean, what better is that?
Yeah, right.
Doc, what did you do this past week? I know you've had a few experiences.
Only yesterday though. I met up with some old coworkers. I hadn't seen him for quite a while, and one of the guys, he is in the same situation as me. Like I moved to a different country for my girlfriend, and he did the same thing about like 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like last week they broke up. So he's in a pretty shitty situation. Like, what do I do now? Do I stay here? Do I go back? So, we all figured, fuck it. Let's go out Saturday night, get him fucking drunk as shit, and, we'll have a good time. Well, that's what we did.
That's not really what anybody wants to hear either. I moved halfway across the world to be with my woman, and she dumped my ass.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like, I mean, it's a pretty fucking shitty situation. And, he's hoping on getting like a permanent contract at his work.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, obviously he'll stay here because, he lived there for 8 years and he built up a life here. So, if that happens, he doesn't have to go anywhere. I mean, he can stay here then. But, he's going to have to find this place of his own and all that stuff.
And now, how does it work over there? I mean, does he need a green card because he's not married anymore to the person, or is he automatically
No. This is like, basically how it works here is mostly if you're European, you can practically live here, especially in the parts where we're from.
Mm-hmm.
We're from Belgium, both, and then we moved to Holland. It's like one country up, so it's not really. I arrived here and I went to the city hall to, say like, hey, I'm coming to live here. What are the do's and don'ts and all that stuff, and how long can I stay here? And they said like, yeah, you're from Belgium, right? Yeah. Well, you can stay as long as you fucking want to.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's it. Like with my passport, I have a Belgian passport and I can just live here, no problem. I just show my ID and they're like, okay, fine, yeah, sure.
Right. Well, because and there's so many different countries in Europe that are so close together. With what you were saying, I mean, you could just move up to another totally different country, and since you're European, it really doesn't matter. You come up from Mexico, if you're Mexican, no, you ain't coming. Well, they still do,
Exactly.
but still. But I'm saying it's really.
It's two different worlds.
Right. Well, because we have one solid country, and you guys have 30 all mushed together.
Exactly.
So it's kind of.
Just look at
makes
it like
sense.
this, right? Just look at it like this. All your states are basically countries by itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of them are fucking huge. So, it takes about 4-hour drive to get out of the fucking state.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens here. I mean, if I take a train to Belgium, it takes me a 4-hour train drive. So it compares a bit to the states you guys live in, and I guess that's why this is a bit more open because they're all like separate countries, but European Union and all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck, but I could move to England and live there with my Belgian passport. That's basically how it works. But of course, there's some things you have to take care of before you do that and all that stuff. And maybe in some countries in Europe they have or they do have a like a sort of a visa or whatever. But the parts I'm from, it's just like, whatever. You can stay here as long as you want, buddy.
Now you just did say it. Is there any countries over there that actually that actually do that to where you can't live here unless you're like a citizen of this country. I mean, is
Yeah,
there
exactly.
any laws like that over in any of the?
Yeah, I know. Because Cantiel was
I know Italy does it.
planning. Yeah, exactly. And Cantiel was gonna come visit me, and he had to get like some sort of traveling document,
I thought he was
which
from
is
Sweden.
yeah.
He's like right
But he
next
has
to you.
yeah, but he's got to get like a because their passports work different than ours, like their ID cards.
Oh, okay. So
So you
you
have to
can't get
get
the
like a
same information
traveling.
off of basically.
Exactly, yeah. So you have to get like a traveling ID card, basically what that is, like a little booklet with stamps that you can put in, and if you travel, they stamp it. Um, and yeah, so he had to get that. But other than that, it wouldn't be a problem coming over. He would just, do the regular thing, get off at the airport, go through customs, all that shit, and then he's like, "Hey, welcome to the country, buddy."
I gotta walk through fucking loops and chains and gates and all that other shit to get over there.
Yeah, and then get butt raped by some massive security guy because
Mm.
he wants to feel up your bumhole to see if you got some drugs hidden there or.
We might have a problem. I won't be coming to see you ever then, Doc. Have a good one. See ya.
But I know, like, if you would, let's say you would come over here, you would have to get like a sort of a traveling pass as well. But if I have to,
Well,
if
I just bring my visa. The U.S. visa is good enough for
yeah,
everything I need
exactly.
to do.
And what I have to do is like in order to come to America, I have to go to the American embassy here, apply for a visitor's green card,
Mm-hmm.
which takes about 4 fucking months if they even approve it.
Well, you're gonna have to. I mean, start looking into that too, because once everything gets done over here, and with the gaming house and everything, you're gonna have to come at least for. I mean, even if you bring your girl with you, I mean, at least for a couple weeks, if not a month. You just come out here and play and.
You wanna play?
You wanna play? It'll be fun.
As I said, guys, welcome to the Sunday Dose. For all those that are in chat already, thanks for showing up. We're just gonna BS a little bit. I mean, what else hey, tell me that story. Tell everybody else that story that you told me earlier.
Oh yeah, okay. So back to the topic of we went out drinking.
We were on that topic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we eventually ended up on visas and everything. So, but going back to that, we we went out for dinner, just grab a pizza, and then we went to a bar just to chill out. We were like with the six of us or whatever, and we spent quite some time there, like till from 8 till 12, 1-ish. And in total, we spent a decent amount of money. Let's call it that way.
No, I want you to tell them how much money your dumbass spent.
It was about 160 euros, so counted out, that's $200 about. And that is with the six of us. But everybody knew, like, I'm in the situation where I have no money, so I got a lot of free beer because I paid $10. So yeah, I mean, that was a bit of a charity situation there.
Hey,
but
donations are donations, whether it's alcohol or money.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
That only
And,
works for Doc, everybody, not me. Sorry.
Yeah. But, I got that vibe going on where people just hand me beers.
Yeah.
Because later we went on to the Irish pub here, and I know the people there. I've been coming there for a while, and the chick that was behind the bar was like, "Hey, how you doing? This, that." I started talking to her, and I was like, "Yeah, I just lost my job. This, that. I can't really find anything." And she's like, "Oh, that sucks, man. Next beer's on the house."
Score.
So, yeah, exactly. So I mean, I know those people. I mean, she doesn't do that for everyone, but I've come to a practically familiar basis with all the workers there. So
He spent quite a bit of money at these bars. They already know his ass. Oh, it's Doc. Hey, Doc, what's on? You want your usual? Got it.
hey man, a pint of Guinness, all you need.
Yeah.
And so we stayed there till about 4-ish,
I'm really
and then I
fearing-
went home.
I'm really
I was. What?
Go ahead.
I was just completely gone at one point, and then I realized, oh boy, I have to drive my bike home.
Yeah, I'm really
And-
fearing the point that when I come over there, because I don't want to get that drunk. And I have a really bad feeling that the charity is going to come. Oh, you're American? Oh, here. See if you can handle this shit. No, thank you. Or
They'll hand you just like massive amounts of weed. Like, see if you can handle this shit, bitch.
little do they know. Or they're going to go, you're American? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
One or the other.
Americans, we know like American.
Oh, I can talk like that too, okay?
But yeah, so I had to drive my bike home, and apparently at one point I fell because now my hand is both my hands are fucking busted, and my knee is completely fucked up. I can move it about 2 inches at a time, and then I have to wait, and then and then after a while I can move it for a bit again. So it's really, but the bike is okay.
I knew that was coming, but the bike's okay, damn it. I'm telling you right now, it's okay.
Yeah, right. But that was pretty much my weekend. Today is just a day of feeling crap and doing absolutely nothing. You know, waking up with an aspirin and water. Best breakfast on a Sunday morning.
Exactly, aspirin and water. We do want to give a shout out to a couple of people that deserve it, of course. Of course, we want to make sure that we shout out geekyantics.com, where all you guys geeks and gamers can go and just have some fun. We have several different topics. I know Doc Rowe hasn't been on it in a week or so, but he's got his Doc Rowe Chronicles. And
I gotta start making that again. I've just been swamped with trying to find a job.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna get back to that soon. I talk about practically anything that comes to mind. Films, series, what to watch, what not to watch. You know, in the future might be some other topics. You know, if you guys want to hear something about it or have ideas what I should put in there, let me know. You can do that on Twitter at DocRoGames, and I will always reply because my Twitter is not that swamped with people messaging me, so I will see your messages.
He's basically saying in layman's terms, Doc doesn't have any friends, so he wants some more friends on Twitter. Hit him up, guys, at DocRoGames, at Obi1X2. Throughout the show, throughout the week, we will make sure if we get some really weird tweets or good tweets, we'll make sure that we put them up, and we'll put them in the show notes and make sure we say them online. I did get a tweet the other day, okay? And the guy was like, he's from a part of, like, right around the corner from me where I live right now. And he goes, dude, your Sunday Dose is what it's called. It sucks ass. I was like, thank you very much, sir. We had some technical issues last week. I hope you can make it this week. And he's actually here right now. He's just not saying anything. So I hope the show is good for you this week. It's had a little few technical issues last week, but right now I think we're running really, really good right now. Yeah. So we're just going to keep getting into it. But I do want to say,
dumbass forgot to turn his league off. Huh.
Yeah, I know what happened last week anyway. But what we're going to get into right now is, of course, we want to make sure that we give love to all our Geeky Antics family. I don't have a name up here, and I don't have the website open at the moment. I could give you part of the gang, but what we do, you guys head over there, geekyantics.com. Check us all out. Say hi. Tell them that, you know, the Sunday Dose, Obi and Doc sent you guys over there just to chillax. And if you're a geek and a gamer or a gamer, you're going to fit in really, really well there. Like I said, Doc's got some Doc Rowe Chronicles going on, and I have, it's just called League of Legends Talk. You guys know that I'm huge into League of Legends, and I really want to maybe in the future make somewhat of a team. So I really hope that we can get going on that and just have some fun. Of course, I do want to give shout outs to our All Games family. I know it's not, we still want to give that because they are family. And of course, I have to look up all the names because there's like 20 names we shout out just because. But if I don't look at them, I'll sit there and go, 42 level 1, and then I'll go zombie radio or some shit like that. And it's zombie cast, so let me get it real quick so I can actually, yeah, there it is. Maybe. Yep. Yeah, anyway, we do want to get out, of course, like I said, to the All Games Network, which are, we're like a partnership, not a partnership, but I don't know exactly what to say. They're our family, we're their family, and it's just we love those guys to death. But we do want to make sure that we get them shout outs. And of course, if you guys do want to give the Geeky Antics, we do have a voicemail hotline, 206-415-4987. You guys can check that out. Give us a voicemail. And if there are good voicemails for either the Sunday Dose or just Geeky Antics in general, let us know and we will get those out to you and basically say them, especially if it's a good one. So if you guys don't want to email or call us and hear your voice, because some people are shy, you can email us at mail@geekyantics.net. Please keep them short and we'll play them live either on the Sunday Dose or any other show that we have going on. So, here it is right here. I can say it now. Freaking just blew my mind. Like, wait, who are our affiliates again? Oops, no. I just lost it again. But anyway.
Oh God.
I did, dude. It's really sad for me because everything. Yogi, you know how Yogi types? He just types, and well, he makes a freaking book that you have to read. So it's like 4 pages long. Just because. Okay. We're going to try this now. If I can find it again. Here we go. Check out our friends at allgames.com. A worthy opponent, level 42, level 1, gaming history 101, the B Team podcast, R9 cast, Knuckleballer Radio, Pixelated Pints, Zombie Cast, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast, Fantastic Forum, Sega Nerds, Costuberous Doctor Who podcast, and they're all on the All Games Network and gang. So I hope you guys got all that. Give a shout outs to those guys. They're really good shows. And I think we got, I don't want to say which one it is because 9 times out of 10 I'm wrong. But I think we have Knuckleballer Radio today. Tonight, actually. So, yeah, I think it is Knuckleballer Radio. What are you chewing? Are you out of pacifier in your mouth?
No, it's a little stress ball.
It's a stress ball for your mouth.
Yeah. From Kellogg's. From the cornflakes.
I didn't say nothing.
Fuck you.
No, Doc. I already said no. No means no. Yes means more. Wait.
So you're saying
no
yes?
Means yes, and yes means more. No, I'm not. Dude, stop. I said no. I said no means no. And yes means more. That's about right. All right. We're going to get right into the EULCS Riot. Now, you guys know that we've been trying to just kind of form this a little bit, and we usually come up with an MVP. We come up with a not-so-MVP. And, of course, worthwhile bands. And, of course, we are starting this week. We have a rotation of champions that we're just going to be talking about a little bit about each week. Of course, we have our OP Champ of the Week, and, of course, the standings for the EULCS. Somebody in chat just like, since when do kids have stress?
That's my girlfriend.
Get him, girl. Get him. No stress. We need to get her on the show sometime.
Yeah.
Doc's like, yeah, no.
That would be fun. Whoa, what the fuck happened to my voice?
You reach puberty again.
Yeah.
It's
every week.
It's a second coming.
That's what she said.
Well, the MVP, I don't know if Doc you had found any or anything. If you had watched, of course I watched the LCS. I was watching it this morning.
I haven't watched too much last week, but you know, there's some obvious choices there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
Froggen for one, he's been destroying his lanes. Reckless tabs, but yeah, you know, I mean, whole of Alliance is doing good. So
right. Well, the MVP for this week, my choice, is Reckless. If you guys do know Reckless, he is the ADC of Fnatic. Okay. You guys know Fnatic has been kind of on a losing streak, but then they come up and they just fixed everything, and they just the bomb. I mean, his weekly KDA this week is freaking almost 20. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, you got other people that we did see, and we do, you know, we'd go by a weekly MVP, and apparently I picked the one that's actually on top this week. So I actually picked right. Reckless is on top. Second, third, fourth, and fifth is we got Overpower from Rocket, Candapandy from SK Gaming, and then Vander from Rocket, and then Mig Exa. I don't even know who that is. That's terrible. But they Mick X is from Super Hot Crew. So yeah. That's the top 5 MVPs. I did pick the one. I'm very proud of myself because it usually updates Saturday night or Friday night. So I picked it pretty good. We set up these show notes last week Sunday, so I picked one right out of the bat. So that's good. But now we do get into a not so MVP. Now, the not-so MVP, and I'm going to give Doc a chance to talk on this here in a second, but the not-so MVP, we really couldn't pick one person. Okay? Nope. Now, they're in the middle of the pack. They're 14-14. They're exactly 500, 50% win rate. But, and I'm just going to say this, if I get flack for this, I'm going to get flack for it. Gambit Gaming, you guys need to change something up. It's not just one person. I'm really sorry to say it. I just watched a replay of Fnatic versus Gambit Gaming where Fnatic just destroyed them.
They completely annihilated.
Their laning phase sucks, okay? They don't rotate like they're supposed to. If they're at, Fnatic took, in this game, they took a 4-minute dragon. Okay? Yeah. A 4-minute dragon. There's nothing they could do. Okay, they rushed it. Now, if they could have rotated right to where, you know, they had no ward coverage, no vision in the jungle, and their own jungle at that. Of course, they both started out to where they you know, warded the lanes to see if there's a lane swap happening, and, you know, it was a really decent start. But once that first 5 minutes come up where Fnatic already had a dragon, Fnatic was already pushed down the bottom tower, and the mid tower was going down. I mean, dude, within the first 10 minutes, they had 3 towers and a dragon, or 2 dragons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you guys just don't want to win, apparently, or you don't want to do it because it's every time that you guys play. And I'm not picking on Gambit Gaming. I'm not gonna be like that. Yes, there are Super Hot Crew and Millennium. They suck ass too. But it's not the point where.
Don't forget about Copenhagen Wolves, though.
Yeah, but Copenhagen Wolves, they've been on a winning streak lately. I can't really say not MVP as a team, and I really don't want to pick an MVP as a non-MVP as a team. But it's just to the point where who do you pick off of that? Off of Gambit, you can't really say the mid sucks because all suck. Their laning faces are shit right now. The rotations, the word coverage, just everything that they do is just who's making the decisions. Cyanide, Xpeke, who's it probably will come with lane ganks. You know, if the 9 times out of 10 the jungler is going to be making the calls. Team fights 9 times out of 10 the support's probably going to be making the calls because the support's probably going to be the one initiating. So, I mean, you got to just think about it. And I'm not saying Gambit Gaming sucks. Like, totally is terrible. They are in the EU LCS, okay? I'm not saying they're shit because what Gambit Gaming had to do to get here, they had to win 6 of their Four. It's either 4 or 6 of their last 10 games.
Yeah.
Okay, and they won 7 to make it in, to get to qualify, because they got into the EULCS off of qualification, off of the promos.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, it's not like they won previous last year. Not like they won a title or anything. Because if you win a title, if you go to Worlds or whatever, and you get in the top 2, you are automatically placed, and you already have that seat, and you'd be the first or second seed in the LCS in your area. But they didn't do none of that. They had to earn everything they did. So I'm not saying they're just a shit team. They just need to work on their early game. Okay, and I'm just seeing what I've watched with Gambit Gaming over the last 10 games. And when I pick a not MVP, it's not the point where I'm just picking somebody out of the crowd. I actually watch the games. I do my research. I do everything I need to do, because I don't want to sit there and say, well, Gambit sucks ass, and then they just went on a 10-game winning streak. I don't want to do that. That's not the point. It's the point of each person, yes, individually, okay, and I can't say this about Gambit, and individually in solo queue, they are good. They each of them have an individual solo queue. They can play. They know what to do. They know how to do things. It's just when they come to team game, it's like they're not scrimming enough. They're not doing, practicing enough. They're just not doing something to where if they just do this, that whole next level will pop off. Doc, what do you think?
Yeah, well, the problem, what they have is they're it seems like they fail sometimes in pick comps, because what they did against Fnatic, talking about that match that you just watched, I mean, they put a Nidalee up against the Ziggs, and okay, it can work, but you have to land every single spear, and that's not what happened. He landed every single spear into a minion.
Right. Well, and really, Nidalee's early game, I mean, it got a little bit better with being able to use her ult right away.
Yeah.
So she's like a diverse champion, such as like Elise. Any champion that switches. Who is that guy up top that has the gun? What's his name?
Jace.
Any champion that has, when they hit their ult, they go into a different form, they go into a different, set of spells, anything like that. I'm really happy they did that, because then you do have a little bit more of an early game presence. Now, Nidalee, as everybody knows, Nidalee is a mid to late game champion. She's got to have her tier. She's got to start stacking her tier up right away, unless you just don't use it, unless you go Athenes. If you don't, make sure you get your freaking Athenes. Rush it. Because the more you can get that up there, the more that you can change back and forth, throw your spears whenever you want. Because I'm telling you, mid-game, you got 10, 15 minutes into the game with Nidalee. If you don't hit somebody with a spear and take half their health, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, completely.
That's at 10 minutes, guys. That's at 10 minutes. Of course, as the game progresses, you're going to get people with more armor, more MR, more health in general. But if you don't play a champion right, you're going to pay for it. Now, if you're in bronze, I'll tell you a little bit about my stuff in a minute. But if you're in bronze, you're in silver, it's really hard to get out. You need to pick a champion that you're going to be able to basically just work yourself out of your own mistakes, your own, my first account, the first 10 games wasn't very good. My main account on NA wasn't very good at all. 8 games, we crushed our lane. I was dual queuing with a buddy of mine that's a really good support, and we just crushed our lane, but top and mid lost, so we couldn't carry hard enough, so we'd lose. I went 1-10 in my promos. That's just terrible.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but it's just, I mean, it was that, 8 of those games were like we barely lost. Couple of the games, I'm not going to say I won my lane every time, because that didn't happen. But you got 2 or 3 games that, we didn't win our lane, but we were still, they were right here and we were right there next to them. I mean, it was just that close. But our mid and our top would just get our asses kicked, or the jungler would camp mid and just keep doing it. our jungler would come down, make his trip all the way up to top, all the way, and never gank mid. Well, mid got overrun every freaking time. What's the closest way to the Nexus? Straight down the fucking middle.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's, you know, and then stuff like that, guys. With League of Legends, if you get mad at stuff like this, okay, yes, I was mad. I was furious. I was like, are you serious? You know, I'm bronze 2 now, or 3. I don't remember. But I've won 10 games. You know, I've only played like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've played 19. So out of the first 8, 9 that I lost, I've won 9 in a row. So I'm getting out of bronze really fast, but it's just the point where if you don't have that good team, don't get pissed off. Play your champion. I'm sorry to say this, and I know if the mid loses or the jungle's shit and he gets way behind or the top is just getting ganked every 2 seconds, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. You need to make sure you play your champion. Okay? If you're playing Nidalee, if you're playing Nidalee top, stop worrying about what's going on in mid unless you're going to roam. Okay? If you're playing Shyvana, I know that you're probably going to want to take your teleport so that you can do those ganks mid, bottom, and wherever you need to go. I mean, you just got to play the game the way you know how. If you don't know how to play a game, I'm going to try to get up a few European players, a few NA players, and try to maybe even go through a little bit of like an internet boot camp type thing for those players that are maybe just starting or want a few tips. What do you think, Doc? We get a couple of decent players?
Yeah, no worries. I mean, there's you know, people that just start out. You can become good fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you become a decent player fairly quickly. I mean, that's not the problem. It's just it's just the amount of time you have to put in to become the absolute best of the best is just nerve-wracking, to say the least. Because, you know, you're going to have so many bad games before you actually start to win those, you know, beautiful games.
Well,
and
go ahead.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, that's how it goes, you know, like there's nothing to do about it. And you just have to have the patience for it.
And like what Doc said, guys, too, it's not to the point where, you know, you can suck at the game. I'm telling you right now, and I'm not, you know, if they say they didn't, then they're full of shit. But I'm sorry to say this, but every person, when they started League of Legends, sucked at one point.
Yeah.
Okay? You know, there's so many things that you have to do, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of a rundown of what you need to do and I'm just going to say, okay, as a mid player. Okay? As a mid player, you have the whole map on both sides of you. A mid player has to be the most careful and has to be the most, I don't want to say most skilled, but it does help. Because you got to remember, you have a gank could come in from either side. You have a top that could roam down. You have a duo bottom lane that could roam up. I mean, there's anything and everything that you can think of. And in the top lane, you already know, they're only coming from one freaking direction unless they go around you. You can put usually one ward down and you can see everything coming. Bottom, same thing. You can usually put one ward down maybe in the tri-bush or right in the river or, you know, even just 2 wards down to see the bottom lane. You can see it coming. Mid, you got to have 3 or 4 wards just to see shit coming. Now, it matters. It does matter, guys, where you put those wards. Okay? I got a lot of good ideas, and Doc's on board with this. But we're going to be making some videos, some tutorial stuff, and I think we might even just get into the, if you're going to do an early gank, where do you want to put the wards? If you want to see where the ADC and support are going to be going, even if they go straight top, or if they just do a lane swap just out of the blue. If you guys, we'll show you how to where to put the wards that they're not going to be seen by turrets. They're not going to be seen by other people because of the turret vision. You have to, just little things that will help you early game to transition into mid game to where you can get your power spikes when you need to transition into that late games to win.
Yeah.
So be looking for those videos. I know we got one video coming out. We're actually gonna talk about that later. Hey Doc, do you have any? Do you have an MVP this week?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with Froggen just because I'm a heavy CLG EU fan. Always have. That team was just. They weren't the best team, but I think it's the team with the most personality next to I'm a Cutie Pie, because he's just a fucking dumbass. But that's what makes him so brilliant. But I'm gonna have to say Froggen because he's just a beast in lane. Put him on any champion, especially as a Nivea, and you're fucking done for. Give him as a Nivea, and that's game pretty much.
Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, I mean, he's just a solid player, and I think the whole team of Alliance that they now formed with what's the other guy from EG that went there, the top laner.
I don't remember.
I can't remember for the life of me. But anyway, let's see. Maybe I can find it really quickly.
Okay, you go ahead. I was wrong, guys, on that. The player. I was looking at the season weekly MVP, and of course, like week 1, Reckless, Overpowered 2. This past week, the MVP of the week for the EU LCS for Riot was in Rated. So that is my fault. Overall MVP so far for the year is Froggen. So he does have 3 votes. He did win at 8, 9, and 2 votes. He did win in 8 and 9. But Amazing, the guy that actually went to, didn't Amazing go to TSM?
Yeah.
And that's the Amazing from Copenhagen Wolves?
Yeah.
Okay, so Amazing's actually on there. He was weeks 6 and 7. He actually won the MVP back-to-back, like Froggen did in 8 and 9. But, of course, if you guys follow the NA scene, the Amazing did go to the jungle for TSM because of the Odd Ones actually going into coaching status.
Yeah, exactly.
But we might get into that if we have a little bit more time. We'll jump over to the NA LCS. What do you have for what are you thinking about a non-MVP of the week? Have you seen any of those that you want to, even if it's the same as mine, it doesn't matter, but,
No, the non-MVP, I don't know. It's kind of hard because EU is actually not doing that great at this point. I would have to look at that. But no, I mean... No, I really can't say who or what for a non-MVP. But the guy I was talking about is Wicked. He came from CLGEU, then went to EG, and now they're both in Alliance. So yeah, that's those people from Alliance are just they're doing super good. So if I would have to pick a MVP team, that would be Alliance for me. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, he didn't even listen to the question, but it was the non-MVP.
Yeah, and I said I don't know
because you gave Froggen the MVP. So we're just gonna go by that because he didn't get these questions. So if he doesn't think about them beforehand, he's like, what?
No, I really don't. I really don't have anyone to pick out as non-MVP.
Right. Well, that's not a bad deal. I mean, and you guys too, the EU LCS. I mean, they're doing really, really good. Don't get me wrong. They're not crapping all over the place or to the point where you don't even want to watch the EU. They are doing very good. Every team is. I mean, of course, we have a few teams that are at the bottom. Of course, Super Hot Crew and Millennium. I mean, they're just. I mean, literally one is 2 points ahead and one is 6 points ahead of 30% win rate. It's just really, really bad. When you get up into the Copenhagen Wolves, the 1 through 6 team, SK Fnatic Alliance, Team Rocket, Gambit Gaming, and Copenhagen Wolves, they're right at about the 50% mark, but no higher than 65. So it's not really a huge, somebody's really not just taking off with it. Okay.
No.
Being that Alliance has just been just on point, they're still only third. They're 16-12. They've got a 57% win rate. That's it. So, I mean, it's not to the point where everybody's just doing really crappy or like 1 or 2 is doing really good. They're all kind of average right now. Like I said, within the top, the bottom 4 teams, they just need to work on their movements and their ward placings. And if they have more vision means more control. But we'll get into that in a different subject, just because I could go on about that forever. Yeah. Worthwhile bans of the week. Now, every week we sit here, and I'm looking out, and of course I play as much as I can on EU, on NA, and I go through. And what champions do you ban? You get first pick, and you just happen to get into a low elo team, with solo queue, and you get first pick. Who do you ban? Now, the worthwhile bans that I have been banning, okay, my 3 usually are LeBlanc, a Jax, and then maybe a Yasuo, or even an Evelynn. Now, the worthwhile bans that I have seen that are just OP. LeBlanc, Evelynn, Kassadin. Yes, Kassadin, you know how to get around him, but if anybody that has played against Kassadin or plays Kassadin, 1 kill will set you off, and you're gone. There's nothing that nobody can do. You have your blink. I don't know what it's called actually, but you have all you could sit there and just pow somebody just like a LeBlanc burst. So I mean, you guys gotta ban Kassadin too, just in case, unless you just don't mind playing against him. I love playing against Kassadin. It makes me better.
Yeah, that is true. If you can win your lane from a Kassadin easily, then you're on the road to success.
And then the last 3, and those are I guess I kind of picked it right. I got 3 AP and 3 AD. That's cool. The 3 AD that I have, of course, you have a strong jungler in Lee Sin. He can make mini ganks. He can do a whole bunch of stuff, especially if the person on that champion knows how to play him. Lee Sin can be the bane of your team, or Lee Sin can be the hero of your team. That's just how it is. Now, you got a couple late-game champions that are worth banning still, just because of what they can do in late game. Jax and Twitch. Twitch, not so much late game, but definitely Jax. If you get 200 CS and you're up top by yourself with teleport and you're able to farm, you are going to get so big to where you'll be able to 1v1 the top easy within the first 20 minutes. You'll be able to 2v1 the top and then jungle within the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes. 15 minutes, 2v1. You're looking at a 3v1 if you actually do it right within the first 20 minutes. That's like your mid player, your freaking jungle, and your top laner all getting on one person, and that one person beating the living hell out of you.
Yeah, the problem is most people nowadays on Jax are just going to go full balls to the walls. In item builds, just go ham and just try and destroy everyone. But you have to build tank as well. I mean, you have to be like a damage dealing off tank, but get your Triforce, get your Blade of the Ruined King, and that's it for damage. The rest is all tank.
Right. Well,
because you don't need anything else than that.
Oh, you don't, especially when you get up there 25, 30 minutes and you're already late game and you have 3 or 4 completed items. There's nobody that's going to stop you. But you have to do it right. I'm really sorry to say this, and a lot of people rush Trinity Force. I know they do. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, this is what I do. I have a 97% win rate on Jax. Yes, I'm not perfect. I lose 2. The way I run Jax, okay? I run the just pure AD. You got attack marks, you got armor yellows, you got MR blues. And then with Jax, I actually run 2 AD quints and 1 attack speed quint. Not attack speed, but movement speed quint. Just because at the beginning, Jax is really slow. If you need to chase somebody down, that one movement speed quint does work. Of course, you go 21-9, 21-9-0 with Jax. He's full AD. And then basically what I do is, guys, I start and get my cutlass as fast as I possibly can. Okay? I don't necessarily finish my blade. You don't need to. I mean, the only thing that a blade does is going to give you the extra 2 pieces of gear is how fast is that 400 price sword? It's like 10% attack speed or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that you only get 20. You get another 20 attack speed, which ain't really nothing. You know, you can get your, you can start your Randuins depending on who you're going to be playing in champion. If you're playing somebody against Rise, like somebody like Rise, of course you're not going to get Randuins. You're going to get your Spirit Visage, or you're going to get your something that has a little bit of MR on it. That's it. Once you get that second item completed, now you normally 9 times out of 10 I go Catalyst and then I go Randuins. There's nothing like a Jax coming up on you, beating the hell out of you, and you can't go anywhere because he's slowing the shit out of you every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Then after that Randuins is done, you get your boots. Well, I get my boots in between, but because you really want to get your boots right after the first item, just so you can maximize your, you're putting out whatever you want. But there's a lot of times where I'll get 2 items before I even touch my boots, just because everything's falling into place. Get your cutlass.
Yeah.
Get your cutlass, get your boots, then get your Randuins. Once your Randuins is complete, then you finish your Blade of the Rune King. Now, there's a lot of people that say, "No, what the hell are you talking about? You need to finish your blade before you get your boots." Why? There's no point. The only thing that does any damage for that Blade of the Rune King is your cutlass, and you already have it. Well, now you have sustain because you have your cutlass, and you have true damage.
Yeah.
So really, what difference is it between getting 2 800? I mean, and then you're gonna have to spend another 1,800 gold just to finish your blade, when you could spend 200 more gold and get your vest, your armor, and your health, and then you have another 1,000 gold to where you get your Randuins. Perfect, man. Boots running me down, Luther. Yeah. Of course, and people that play top laners, they know how to, you get your first item, and usually 9 times out of 10, 90% of top laners are just going to rush that first item and then get your boots. A lot of people will get, on Jax, yes, you can get Mobies, you can get all these other stuff just to run people down, but if you do want to go safe, you do want to do what you need to do, you either get the magic resist boots, the stun resist boots, or the keeps you out of stuns longer, or you get your ninja tabbies. Okay? Because if you're Jax and you're top lane and you're by yourself, you're going to be the tank. You're going to be the front line. So why not get ninja tabbies? If you got somebody like Rise, you might get the merc shreds. But that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get speed boots, you're not going to get Mobies, you're not going to get nothing like that. You want to make sure that you can survive. That is your job. The more you survive, the more damage your team does. But does the other team know that the more you survive, the more damage you do.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's enough about that. We do have 2 champions. Oh, Doc, do you have any bans? I mean, have you been playing this week?
Well, I would definitely say, since she's gotten a bit of a power spike, the Evelyn is always a good ban.
Definitely.
And yeah, Twitch as well, of course. What is noteworthy is that one particular champ is coming back into play, and that is my dear old friend champion Amumu. He's been getting picked a lot more, and people are actually starting to build around it, comp-wise. And I used to play a fuck ton of Amumu. It was the only champ I played back in the day, like Season 2, Season 3. And I love it that champion is coming back. It's actually a good pick again. And
go ahead.
In the beginning of Season 4, I would pick Amumu, and people were like, "Are you fucking stupid? Pick a Zed, pick a Lee Sin, pick all those scary junglers."
You should go. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that he's coming back. So if you have the chance, ban him out or first pick him, because 6 out of 10 you're gonna get the Amumu on the other team if you don't pick him nowadays. So that's my input there.
And I've been playing NA quite a bit, guys, and I have that's really only for Europe right now.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, things happen first in Europe just because. And I'm gonna say it, and I'm not bashful to say it, because Americans are too pussy to try it.
Yeah.
Americans want to see the NA.
Americans just stick as close to the meta as possible.
Yeah, I hate that meta shit. But I mean, I take Gragas frickin' top and jungle still. So, but yeah, I totally forgot what we were gonna talk about. Anyway, rotating champions of the week. Each week, guys, we're actually gonna come and pick 2 champions. And I think we're just going to go right down the line. So if you guys do want to follow along, we're starting with Aatrox and Ahri, okay, as the 2 champions of the week. We're going to talk a little bit about what their skill sets are and what they actually do for the team. Are they strong? Are they weak? We're going to get into it right now. Aatrox. He is a fighter. He is a fighter, secondary tank. He can be very tanky. He can be very, very annoying in team fights if you don't play against him right.
You can run him jungle if you want.
He can run jungle, but his primary position is up top.
Top lane.
Now, back in Season 3, a lot of people actually ran him jungle, including myself, and I believe including Doc. We actually ran him jungle just to see, because everybody was doing, of course, it was the meta. And it was just, I hated him in jungle. I'm sorry to say it, but he just didn't have any sustain in jungle. Now, reason being is because with his passive, he actually has where it heals him back once he dies. Now, with his, I think it's his W, where he can switch back and forth from lifesteal to more damage.
Yeah.
Okay, now, one of his W, and this is where I kept getting confused. One of his Ws actually will do more damage. It does, I think, 20% more damage plus whatever his skill sets are or skill abilities are.
Yeah.
On the other side of it, he actually has lifesteal to where he can, just like an AD carry, lifesteal off of creeps. Now, when he's in the jungle, you can't, you can do it, but the difference between the lane and the jungle, the lane you have some creeps hitting your creeps so you don't get hit. In the jungle, you don't have that. You got to take all the damage. Now, if you don't know what you're doing and you jungle wrong, or if you go start blue and you go right to the wraiths, you're an idiot. You don't want to go to a 4-set jungle. You want to go to a 3-set jungle or the wolves. It's just less damage on you. And of course, if you have your pots, you have everything you need to do. We're not going to talk about jungle pathing. I'm not doing it. Doc will talk about that someday. I don't jungle. But, it's just, the little things that you can do to secure your win, or to secure what you need to do. Now, and I'm going to say this too. I do it, and I'm not afraid to. Okay? There are bot games in this game for a reason, guys. If I swear to God, I see it every single day. I'll play 10, 15 games in a row, and all of a sudden it'll say, hey, first time Aatrox, or first time, why don't you go play your first fucking game in a bot match? Because, first time, and I'm just going to use it because we're talking about him, first time Aatrox. Guy gets his ass kicked, and we lose the game because top just failed. Yeah, take your first time bullshit and go into a freaking custom game, or go to a freaking bot game. That's what they're there for. Okay, yes, bot games are for the first, believe it or not, I ran bot games until I hit level 20. It was easier. It's so much faster. You don't have to deal with people. You just pick a lane and you just go. Get your points. Don't play your first freaking game ever on a champion in a freaking, especially in a ranked game. Oh, Obi's gonna get pissy again, so let's not do that. Aatrox. What are we talking about? What do you want to do? Now there are a bunch of different builds that you guys can use with Aatrox now, but I want to emphasize this to everybody. If you go to Mobile Fire, or if you go to Team Solo Mid, or you go to Law Pro, or you go wherever you want and get your builds from there, that's okay. but it's not the way to play the game.
No.
Now, the builds, and I'm gonna just the builds that people run and put online. Okay? Like with the Jax, get your Trinity Force, get your, all this other shit. All right? That's for that specific game. Okay? Now, there are 2 to 3 items for a champion that you have to get. The other 3 are situational. 9 times out of 10, it's 2, like an AD carry. There are 2 items that they're going to get always is a what? Well, back before 4.1 hit, where the Bloodthirster was good, now the Bloodthirster's not a first item anymore. It's a number 4 item. Yes, it's going to give you a shield. Yes, you'll be a little bit more helpful. But I'm telling you, every time that I go against an ADC in a bot lane, and he gets the Bloodthirster first, I beat the living hell out of him. I'll go IE, or I'll go freaking, something that's going to give me damage. And you guys like to know I love to play Lucian. Yeah, go ahead, get your Bloodthirster first. You'll give me first blood, I guarantee it. Or kill very shortly. I'm really sorry to say it, though, but the Bloodthirster is not a good item for early game anymore. Bloodthirster's a 4th or 5th item, guys. Straight up. With an ADC, most times ADCs get the same exact thing. Your ADC items are your IE, your Bloodthirster, your Last Whisper. Those are your 3 items. Okay? Your 3 mains that you're going to get. Now, on people like Vayne that have burst throughs, or even maybe Lucian to a point to where it might be able to work out, you want to get a Phantom Dancer. Because the Phantom Dancer is going to give you more attack speed. It's going to allow you to actually walk right through minions. It's going to give it a whole bunch of other stuff. But guys, please don't get the damn Bloodthirster anymore first. It's going to ruin you. The 4.10 patch is going to bust your ass if you keep getting Bloodthirster first. And if I'm playing you, I will bust your ass too.
Noteworthy, like as you said on Vayne, a really good item on Vayne is Blade of the Ruin King.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what a lot of ADCs
because your lifesteal is just through the roof. Then if you go like a couple other lifesteal items. But it's so good. So good.
All right, we're not talking about Vayne right now. We're going to get back on Aatrox.
Yeah.
Jeez. Gosh. I don't even know where I'm at. Yeah, there it is. Aatrox. What else can you tell me about Aatrox, Doc? You got anything? Can you think of anything?
Well, his other, like, I don't particularly see where his ult is viable in any way.
Ever.
Yeah, ever, exactly. It's really his ult is like kills fucking E.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets attack speed and attack range for a short duration.
Well, it's almost like it's almost like a Master Yi ult. You just get speed up and you do a little bit more damage. It's the same thing. And that's really like 50% of the freaking champions in League of Legends, really. What's their ult do? Oh, they give you a boost up. They give you more attack speed. Oh! Well, that's gay. Or lame, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Base stats. I hate this stupid computer. Base stats for Aatrox, guys. Right off the bat, it's 395 health. You got health regen of 5.75, of course. He is a melee range, so it's 150 range. Attack damage starts out with 55 attack damage. Speed is 0.65. Armor, he gets a little bit more armor than normal, but he is a top laner, so he gets like 18 armor. Magic resist 30, and of course, movement speed is 345. Now, a lot of people, that's just numbers. That's just, what the hell does that mean? It's an average health. If you look at his health, he's got 395 health when you start. Now, when you put on, if you have, armor, if you have health quints, if you have any of your runes, they're going to add to that. So if you have 18 damage, attack damage, it's going to add to that 55.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 73 opposed to 55, but that's because you have runes. That's what runes are for.
Yeah, Sparty mentioned something good. That, the only thing worse than someone saying first time is like someone picks a lane and then another person says, I'm going top or feed, and then just insta locks while it was already called.
Right. Well, that's just trolls too. Trolls. Trolls are trolls. That's just, they're always going to be there, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
A few of his abilities. Okay, he has Bloodwell, which Bloodwell, upon taking fatal damage, Bloodwell activates and places Aatrox in a status for up to 3 seconds. Okay, that is his passive. It basically heal him back up. You get every 2 seconds you get some health. Really, if he goes all the way down and his passive pops, he's at half health when he gets back up. Now, if you are right and you know how to capitalize on that, you can kill him as soon as he's back up. But his letter is Q is called Dark Flight. Actually, that is not his Q, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Q. Yeah, Dark Flight is Q. He actually jumps up in the air, and you'll see he'll actually jump up in the air and then go straight down at you. And it's a circle, and it's right around a 150 melee range. And the range for Dark Flight is 650, which is 650, and it costs 10% of current health. So, if he's full, it's going to cost 10%. You have to be able to play these champions and know what they do, because if you don't, you'll run out of mana, or you'll run out of health so quick just from fighting, not even getting damaged onto you. The next one is W, Bloodthirst. Now, there's 2 points to Bloodthirst. There's Bloodthirst and Blood Price. Bloodthirst, Aatrox, and that's the W toggled off. Heals himself for every 3rd attack. That's the lifesteal I was talking about. If Aatrox is below 50% health, he will heal for 3 times as much. That's awesome. So if he's at 49%, he's going to heal triple what he healed before, and it's just a little bit better. Of course, toggle on Blood Price. Aatrox deals bonus damage, deal to every 3rd attack of his cost of his health. So instead of healing himself, he's going to deal more damage. It's not really that hard, but you have to make sure you have the right one active when you go into a fight. If you don't, and you get your ass handed to you, that's on you. His E, Blade of Torment. It is kind of basically he comes out and it's a V-shaped, just like this, and it comes out and it slows you basically. Blade of Torment, Aatrox unleashes and sends forward the power of his blades, dealing magic damage to enemies in the lane and slowing them for 40% up for a few seconds. Now, just because it says magic damage, don't go and fucking get magic fucking damage runes or anything on your goddamn character. You're gonna lose even harder because it does not scale that much. The only good thing about his E is it slows him. Yes, it does a little bit of magic damage, but it slows him. That's what their E is for, really, and that's why people use it. Now, for some odd reason, you can actually get the person on the tip of the slow. It's 40% slowed, and it's for a few extra seconds or whatever. The alt for the Aatrox, and we're going to move right on to Ahri after this, is Massacre. Massacre, Aatrox draws in the blood of his foes, dealing magic damage to nearby enemies. For the next 12 seconds, Aatrox gains bonus attack speed and 175 bonus attack range for a total of 325. Does that sound good? Yes, it is. But, again, it's just like any other person. If you don't use your champion right, you don't use your alt as effective, you are going to get your ass kicked. Yeah. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're going to get your ass kicked if you don't play your champions right. That's how it is. Doc, you got anything to add to Mr. Aatrox?
Not really. I really haven't tested him at top lane. I only played him jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't, like him.
Right.
Gank worthy. Yes, you got your slow. Yes, you got your knock up from the Dark Flight, but There's so much more junglers that are way better. I mean, even Lee Sin is more viable as a ganker because he can just spearhead down the fucking lane.
Definitely.
So, I mean, the Dark Flight is on a long ass fucking cooldown as well. I don't know how much it is, but
18
it is
seconds.
on a long ass. Yeah, exactly.
It's not that long.
No,
but
if
in
you
a
see,
fight, I mean, you can only use it one time in a fight, damn near.
exactly.
Or 16 seconds, maybe. I've already gone off the
If you
page.
use it to go in, you're fucked. You kind of have to save your Dark Flight for like escapes or catching up to a champion that's almost dead or whatever.
And really,
But-
the only time you want to use your Dark Flight is if your team's already there or you're going to pick somebody off.
Yeah.
Because, of course, getting that knock up. And yes, the Dark Flight is a knock up. It does go up in the air. It will mix well with Yasuo. I can't even say his fucking name. It will mix with Yasuo synergy. So I mean, he will be able to throw his ult if you do knock people up. So I mean, there's times and places and teams to play Aatrox. Just like anybody.
Exactly.
Just like any other person. You don't want to pick Aatrox into a siege comp, or actually you probably do. But I would mostly pick Aatrox into a pick comp. You know, if you got Nidalee, if you got even a Evelyn or something like that, to where you could pick somebody off easy, Aatrox is amazing because you get Aatrox fed. 2 or 3 kills, Aatrox is gonna go unless he's just gearing wrong.
Yeah.
On to the next champion, Ahri. Now this is a champion that I haven't seen in quite a while. I actually seen somebody play it, and she got her ass whooped. It was quite funny. Ahri is a prime mage, mid champion, secondary assassin. Ahri can go around just like anybody, and you would think like somebody like Ziggs would be an assassin, but he is. Yeah. Anyway, Ahri's base stats, of course, if you guys have played her and you guys haven't, that's fine. Health start at 380. Health regen 5.5. Mana, you do have mana on Ahri. It is one of your biggest tools. Start out with 250. Mana regen, you only get 7. 7 mana regen per 5 seconds. Or is it per second? I think it's per 5 seconds. Range, she's got a 550, which is for a ranged champion, a mid champion, 550 is about average. Attack damage 50. Attack speed 0.66. Armor 15, magic resist 30, and movement speed 330. So she's a little bit faster, but with her base stats, she's a little bit faster than Aatrox, but with her base stats, she's a lot weaker. So that's where, of course, like the runes and masteries come in. She is primarily a mana-using champion or an ability power-using champion, and she is on the steps of difficulty. To use her, you have to know what you're doing. Again, don't go and play her first time in a fucking ranked. Go into a custom or bot game, please. Learn the champion first and then come play. Abilities for Ahri. We have her passive, which is Essence Theft. Ahri gains and changes of Essence Theft as with each enemy unit hit by any of her spells with a cap of 3 charges gained per spell cast. So if you hit enemies, you get 3 charges. Upon reaching 9 charges, Ahri's next cast will heal her for +2. Yay! Or plus 9%, 9% AP for each enemy hit. So you can do a lot of damage and you can heal yourself. You do have a little bit of sustain, but it's really not it's not much unless you get something like a Hextech Gunblade or something like that, to where you have your AP, your steel. Sorry, excuse me. Orb of Deception.
I swear it used to be a different passive.
It was.
I mean, it used to do true damage, right?
It did. And she got movement speed too.
Oh, okay.
In season 3. Her Q is a range of 880. Her active is Ahri sends out an orb and a line in front of her and basically pull back, dealing magic damage all the way out. And basically the orb coming back, once it's reaches its furthest point at 880 range, once it comes back, that's all true damage now. which I think that was before.
Yeah.
That her Q was her true damage on the way back. Of course, her W is Foxfire. Ahri releases 3 Foxfires to surround her and up to 5 seconds after the short delay. After cast, each flame will target the closest visible enemy itself and prioritize champions. It does. If the champion's there or a minion is there, it will hit the champion and not the minion. So it does prioritize the champions, and it deals magic damage on the target. Of course, additional Foxfires will hit the same time with only 30% damage. So it's only going to be 30% damage, but if you're throwing your ult down and you got 3 of those running, you can kill somebody really, really fast. So,
yeah, right.
Charm. This is the one thing that makes Ahri awesome. If she didn't have a charm, I wouldn't play her ever. Charm, Arkari blows you a kiss. Wow. That travels in the line in front of her. Basically, it's just a straight line. It's a skill shot. The first enemy it takes magic damage and is charmed. Charm forces them to walk harmlessly towards Ahri while being slowed by 50% for the duration. It's kind of like a bug zapper. I see the light. Frank, don't go. I can't help it. Yeah. Anyway. Enemies hit the charm, take 20% magic damage from Ahri for 6 seconds. That's crazy. And then if you throw the Orb of Deception out there, true damage, it also just increases the effect. So, I mean, the more, just everything that you can do. Like I said, Ahri is one of the, and I'm not going to give props. I'm going to give props up to Ahri, but I'm not going to take them away from LeBlanc or any of the bursty champions. But Ahri, once she gets her level, her ult, she is one of the most bursty champions if you play her right. And last but not least, her ult, Spirit Rush. Spirit Rush, Ahri activates, dodges towards the cursor, and fires Essence Bolts, dealing magic damage to up to 3 visible enemies, prioritizing champions first. In the first 10 seconds, Spirit Rush can be cast 2 additional times before going on cooldown. You can cast it 3 times. I mean, bam, 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 and it's basically like a dash. If you look at Lucian and you know his E, it's a dash to one side or the other. It's kind of like that, but you do a shit ton of damage when you do it. So each enemy can be hit once per dash. So if you have dashes and you have 3 enemies, try to hit every one of them if you can. And then dash again. Hit them again. Dash again. Hit them again. So that's why you see Ahri players dashing 3 times to kill you, because they have to hit you. They can only hit you once. Champions of the week, Aatrox, Ahri. If you guys do have champions that you do want to hear about, we are just going to go right down the line. Next week's champions, if you guys do want to hear about a certain champion, you guys can put that up there. Throw it right there in Geeky Antics or right here on this show. You guys can send us tweets. Doc Rowe Games and at Obi1X2, you guys send us tweet. Tell us what champions you want to hear. So far, right now, as of next week, the champions will be the infamous Assassin, Kali, and the Bull, Alistar. So we're going to get another mid laner and a support / jungler.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we're going to add a third one next week just because he's there, a Mumu. That's Doc's baby. Doc, you have full control over a Mumu, okay?
Yeah.
He's like, wait, great crap.
No, I love it. I love the champ with all my heart, so.
Reconfigured the what? Anyway. But yes, those are the champions, the Kali, Alistar, and a Mumu. We got 2 tanks, and an assassin. Let's do it. So that'll be next. I can't remember what I was going to say. I was going to say something really stupid, but anyway.
As
now,
usual.
Every week we go through. Shut your hole. Every week we go through. Hey, you better be careful. I might keep you just a little bit over your time you're supposed to be at your girl's house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever.
If he's late, it's his fault. Wick. Every week we try to go through, how you doing, Stan? Every week we try to go through and pick a OP champion of the week. Now, I've been playing quite a bit, and I wanted to pick him last week, but yeah, Braum. If you guys have played Braum, you guys know he can damn near 5v1 a freaking whole team. Okay?
Yeah.
He is overpowered as shit. And we're going to talk about this for a few minutes. If you guys do play League of Legends, you guys do play Braum by any chance, you guys put it right there in the chat if you guys are live. If you're just listening here, you guys can leave us a voicemail, 206-415-4987. Let us know that it's for the Sunday Dose, and we'll get those voicemails, and we'll make sure that we can get some next week if it is for the Sunday Dose. If you don't want to hear your voice, you guys can check out us and email us at mail@geekyantics.net. Son of a bitch. I forget it. Dude, it's...
Net.
Yeah. But we're actually Geeky Antics. We got a public site, or we have a website, and we have a beta site that we're actually transitioning into. So it's all gonna go to the same freaking spot. I promise. And I think it is .net because that's where I read it every time. But Braum, Doc, tell me something about Braum, man. I know you haven't been playing League of Legends that much, but I know you've been seeing him.
Yeah.
OPS.
He's got a nice fancy mustache.
That's all right. Fancy mustache. Okay, good. Yeah.
And he's OP as shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that then. I do want to give a little bit, and just because he is the OP champion of the week, we are going to give a little bit of his stuff. Now, he is primarily a support. Okay, if you guys look at the AD, the healing symbol, and then the AP symbol, he's all the way up on healing. He's not very hard to play. He's about an average difficulty, but he is a AD or AP, champion. His slows are all AP, but he does do. He's like a Thresh. He does. You're gonna want the AD Quints, or not the AD Quints, but the AD Marks.
Yeah.
So he's like a Thresh. If you guys build him just like Thresh, or you do the runes just like a Thresh, where you would have the AD Marks, the armor, the magic resist, and either movement speed or health. It's the same thing for Braum.
Yeah, exactly.
Braum's base stats, we're going to go 430 health. He's got a lot more. He's got a little bit more health regen, 6.5. And he does start out with 235 mana regen, 5.5. And he is a short melee range. I mean, literally, it's like the size of his champion on the screen. It's only 125.
Yeah.
I mean, which is, it's like me punching Doc right here and hitting him in the face, boom, I don't know. Anyway, attack damage. She does start out with 5-0. Attack speed 0.644. Armor 20. Magic resist 30. Movement speed 335. So he is an average champion to start out with. Now, the one thing that I love about him is his passive.
Yeah.
Concussive blows. Braum basically attacks, and Winter Bite applies. Winter Bite. I'll get to that in a second. Stacks of a concussive blows for 5 seconds. Each stack. Once the first stack has been applied, the basic attack for an allied champion will generate concussive blow stacks. Now you throw one person, one Winter's Bite, which is his ranged, which he throws that. It's 1,000 range too, so it's pretty wide. If you can hit that, and then your AD seed comes up and hits him with 2 more shots, he's going to take double damage or get 2 more stacks on that, which then is going to do more damage from Braum in the long run. It's really, really nice, guys. Winter's Bite is Braum's propels ice from his shield that travels forward in a line, dealing magic damage to the first enemy it hits. Applying the concussive blows. That's what's going to do more damage, and slowing them by 70%. The slow decays over 2 seconds. So it's basically a 2-second slow. It's really not that bad, but you can get some damage in on somebody really, really fast if you do it right. Yogi at geekyantics.net. Okay, that didn't make any sense, but stand behind me as Braum leaps for 8, and he says basically it's just you're gonna basically hit your ability and target your allied champion, and he'll rush to him, and basically it's like an intervene with a warrior if you guys ever played World of Warcraft. Yeah, Spath, that really didn't make no sense at all. But thanks for trying. Anyway, And the Unbreakable is basically a shield. He'll get up in front of you, and everything that is projectiles, just like Yasuo's Wind Wall, everything that's projectile minus a turret shot will be blocked. If you're a good Braum player, you can block, Lucian's ult, freaking just... I mean, I've even had a Braum support where every time we were in lane, Jinx would throw out her ult, just try to hit us to get that... Just try to get to try to get us down to where they could gank or whatever. Braum would block it every time, and it worked. He only took a little bit of damage because it's in an area effect damage, but it's really, really nice. It's a true shield, and excluding true damage and towers, it blocks everything else. So, I mean, a blade, it won't stop that, but it's Braum. He can, like I said, he can 1v5 if you're good enough. Last but not least, his ult is Glacial Fissure. I said it wrong, probably. Fissure. Whatever. Anyway, it's basically he slams the ground as hard as he can, and it makes a line of ice right up the line. And if he hits, it basically will knock whoever he hits up. Braum slams his shield into the ground, dealing magic damage to all enemies. 150, 250, 354. 60% line as well as those in the X radius around him. So basically it does this number, and then it goes up. So it's like almost like a sword if you think about it, kind of, an X at the bottom and the straight line all the way up till where he casted it at. Enemies, champions hit the point, blanking area, knock up for 1.5 seconds, while enemies hit the line, they are knocked up for 0.25 seconds. So if you get hit initially, you are knocked up for 1.5. If you get hit by the line of ice that's coming, it's a quarter of a second stun, or a knock up, sorry. If no enemies are hit, the point blank area, the first enemy champion hit in the line will be knocked up for 1.5 seconds. So it's basically first enemy hits 2 is going to be 1.5. Every enemy after that is 0.25. For the next 4 seconds, the field of Glacier remains, slowing all the remaining enemies by 60%. So you can do a shit ton of damage and hopefully get an A sign for your team. Yay! Yay! Standings. I know we're actually running. We're going really fast today. I mean, it's almost 10:30 already. So we do got to get Doc because I don't want to get Doc in trouble. His girlfriend might beat him or something. I am not mean. Yeah, no, I didn't forget. Anyway, standings of the EU LCS. This will be very quickly. Standing so far, the season rankings, SK Gaming is on top at 18 and 10, is 64%. And of course, Fnatic is a second place, believe it or not, after, they've been losing quite a bit, but they come up on a win streak, 17-11, 61%. And then Alliance at third at 16 and 12, 57%. Rocket 15 and 13, and of course the top 5, Gambit Gaming at 14 and 14. 6, 7, and 8 are Copenhagen Wolves, Super Hot Crew, and Millennium. Now, just because it's that way this week doesn't mean it'll be that way next week. Long story, Spath. Anyway, but yeah, stop. It's getting annoying. Stop bringing it up. But anyway, we're going to get right into it. Now, we do have a couple good things that we want to show you guys. I told you I was going to start playing Diablo. And we've been playing Diablo.
So he did.
We've been playing Diablo. So, what we're going to do is, we did make a video, okay, for the Diablo, the first 20 levels. But it was really random. So, what I actually was going to suggest to Doc this morning was we do it again, but he said it to me first. He's like, let's remake that video. Let's talk a little bit about more of what everything is, how to put gear on your... Doc, stop rocking your chair. I can hear that shit, man. What the fuck? Anyway, how to gear out your champion, how to use it, please. How to gear him out, how to use his abilities, how to just use the character in general, the game in general. So we will have that. Yes, we will have those videos coming out, and we do want to play with other people. So I am on EU, on Diablo. I can play on NA too. That's fine. But and we both can. We'll both want to play. As of WildStar, we were going to talk about that, but we just don't have enough info yet. Okay, Doc's been playing it. He's been leveling up. My wife said I get it for my birthday, so which was yesterday, but it'll probably be next week sometime before I get it. So we will get into that, I promise you. We will get into that. Doc,
the only problem is we won't be playing together.
Why?
It is region bound, NA and EU. I cannot play on American servers. I know, baby. It's
It's all right. So,
yeah.
if you guys are EU, and I might just play in EU, I don't know. If you guys are on EU, okay, awesome. If you guys are on NA, awesome. We'll try to. What I'm gonna try to do is, do you have to buy 2 games, Doc, or can I actually like do it like a League of Legends like Switch?
No.
I'd have to buy 2 games.
It's a separate purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
not.
clients are region bound.
Well, I'm still gonna get it, so I might go to NA first.
Yeah.
But we'll have Diablo, of course. Do you want to add anything, Doc, about our Diablo days?
Well, we're gonna do basically, Obi has the standard edition now, not yet. The vanilla Diablo, let's call it like that. And he'll upgrade to Repro Souls as soon as he can. So for now we're gonna do a 1-60. We might do 2 separate 1-60 ones. One very quick one. It's where I boost him. It's a very effective way of doing it. And one where we just level up from 1-60, the normal way.
Mm-hmm.
But the normal way will be coming out first because for the boosting, Obi needs to be level 60 first. So that's how it goes. We'll just be, going over all the basic stuff. The bit more advanced stuff. I have every character on level 70, so which I do play. So I got an idea how the game works now. So we'll be going over all that stuff, just hanging out, having some fun. Be on the lookout for that video or those videos.
Definitely. And those videos are going to be on Geeky Antics YouTube, guys.
Yeah.
We're not doing our own channels right now just because Geeky Antics is everything. I mean, to me, anyway. I want to make sure I can get some videos on there and get some stuff going on there, especially, of course, geekyantics.com is where our main hub is. Don't really know why Spathizilla is being like this today, but the dogging me out part is getting annoying. But anyway, and I'm only mean to those that deserve it, by the way. MLB standings, we do have one more little thing we got, and of course, this is Doc's way of coping that he's actually not able to live in the NA. So, he has to... Doc, what's the standings for MLB so far here this year?
A very sad thing happened.
What's that?
New York Yankees are actually second in the standings. They won their couple games, and Boston Red Sox are now pre-last in the Eastern League, of course.
Mm-hmm. So should we put
Yankees,
this then? So we should do that?
What?
Boston Red Sox FTL for the loss? Just saying.
Nah. Anyway. So in other news, Baltimore won a couple games, which caused them to climb up over Boston. Tampa Bay, as usual, is losing every single game they can. I think it's a sport for them or something. Just lose as much as we can. And, Detroit's doing good. They're on a 3-win streak at the moment. Whereas Kansas City is on a 3-losing streak.
We don't care about Kansas City.
No, exactly. Cleveland lost 2.
Who cares?
Chicago White Sox lost 3.
Oh, definitely.
Good.
Who cares?
Well, I kind of do care because that's my arch enemy. But
Well, I'm a Tigers. I mean,
yeah,
same enemy, fool.
yeah, I know. Minnesota's doing good. They won 3. And then yeah, the West Coast is really sucking. Oh no, actually not. Oakland won 5 of their games in the last week. The LA Angels won 2, Seattle won 2 as well, and then Texas lost 4, and Houston lost 1. So, and those are at the bottom, Texas and Houston. So, it's no surprise that they lost their games. And yeah, other than that, I can't wait for the next match. Boston does. That is versus Oakland.
Right.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be really, really funny. I hope they win because they're kind of on a losing streak now. They lost 3, so I hope they can step it back up. But whatever. We'll see how that turns out, and eventually they'll win the World Series again this year. So no worries.
Definitely.
Up a lot. Like teams losing and winning where they were winning last week. So it's going to be an interesting season for the rest.
I think my stream just stopped. That's interesting. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna get right back into it, guys. That is the end of the show. Actually, I'm back now. I don't know. Anyway, I had lots of fun. And really, you guys see me still touching my head. I have you guys can't see it in the white light, but I have the worst sunburn that I've ever had in my life on my forehead. Because my dumbass didn't want to wear a hat. And of course, Doc has got the hangover of the century, probably.
Fuck my life. And I'm hurting all over the place, so I wasn't too active today.
Right.
Next week will be better. I don't have any drinking plans for the next couple weeks anymore, so.
That's good, too.
So, yeah. No, that's about it.
Definitely. All right, everybody, thanks for coming. I hope that everything was better this week. And we really appreciate you guys coming too. This is episode 1 of the Sunday Dose. We'll see you guys then. And of course, it is the best reason for geeks or gamers to get up on Sundays, just to come watch the show. This is Obi1X2. That's Doc Rowe right there. Guys, make sure you check out geekyantics.com for our mothership hub. Make sure you guys check out, of course, too, a couple of our other shows right there on Geeky Antics. And, of course, it's the Gaming Death Podcast. Those guys are starting. They start Thursdays, 9 p.m., and that's right before Horseplay. Of course, you guys know Horseplay at 11 p.m. on Thursdays. And, of course, right here, the Sunday Dose on Sundays at 9 a.m., and guys, don't forget about our Retro Friday and Saturdays, too, with YogiZilla and friends. And don't forget to check out allgames.com. You guys go over there and check them out. Show them some love. And tell them that Obi and Doc sent you from the Sunday Dose. And, of course, they'll treat you like they treat us, just like family. So we'll see you guys next week. This is Obi1X2. Doc Rowe Games. Peace.
Are you going to say bye, Doc?
Oh,
You just
I was holding the victory pose.
like this?
No, like this.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Wow. We're terrible. We are bad.